Hi, well, it's nearing the end of the semester, and I want to make sure to go over the rubric database one more time to make sure that you know what to do with completing it completely. Anyway, some of you may still be getting your tutorial to come up when you open your version of the rubric database, and you can uncheck this and then say exit and it won't come up anymore. Just an FYI. Okay, so one thing I want to make sure that you do is you make sure that you fill out this screen. So again, you click here on student information and you put your S number in, whatever it is, and then you put in your last name. And your first name, whatever it is, and make sure that you put in a phone number here that I can contact you in case I have a trouble with your database. More than once I have had to give students D's and F's on their final project because I couldn't get a hold of them. So just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And please do, if you are an online student, please make sure to fill this information out as well. You know, whatever your project is about. Maybe it's about health or whatever it is. Make sure that you fill that. Okay, so from here, I want to go over the fact that you're going to need to put in final records into your rubric database for every rubric point. So we'll click on here for the table structure, and just to draw attention to this message, it's saying make sure that you are complete in the details in your comments field. So okay. So here we have a draft version, okay? And you may have said, "Oh, I'm a 10," and you know, you may have said, "Yes, you know, I did this," or whatever you said, okay? And then I may have responded back and given you a 10 on it or whatever. Okay, so you have this draft record. So down here though, you can see where it has a star and it says draft again. And this is where you would be able to enter a second record. Okay, so and this would be where you would enter your final record. Okay, so you can click on final, and then you would tell me how well you felt you did with it. And then, so maybe you would give yourself a 10. And then I will come in and I will evaluate how well you did it as well. And maybe I'd give you a 10 probably too. And I might give some comments to that. And you can put comments in as well. So you can put in a draft. I mean, you may and probably did put in a draft record, and feel free to then come down and put in a final record. As a matter of fact, that's what I would prefer. Now, if you would like to save time, because I realize it is kind of a little labor intensive, if you want, you know, if you want to, you can change this to final instead, and then wipe out your comments, and then or leave your comments and then give yourself a rating. That's fine. If you want to just change it to a final, that's not a big deal. So it's up to you what you want to do with that. But you will need to do that, enter for every single rubric point. There will need to be a final entry, okay? And if it is not complete, it will affect your grade. And those rubric databases that come in that are not complete risk up to 30% of their grade, which would make it so that you would be ineligible for an A or a B in the class. So anyway, so you can put in final records for every single section. Okay, well, for every single record, you would go through and just rate yourself. And you can put comments. And once again, don't make me search for things. Make it clear so that it's not hard for me to find. Okay? And so I'm going to click close here and just remind you to go into every single button and give yourself a final record. Okay? And then, and that's including the essay. Make sure that you fill out the essay portion, and that you do the user interface part. And for the user interface, then it'll be just the final records. And don't forget that I will give you, I will put comments in the overall comments section. So make sure you read it, okay? And then the other thing that I wanted to let you know is that after I've graded everything, then I'll repost it back to the Dropbox, and then you can click on the grade report. And of course, it's not going to show anything right now because there's nothing in there. But down the road, it will. So just something to make you aware of. And other than that, that's about all I wanted to say about the Rubric database. If you have any questions, make sure to post them in questions if you're on the online, and if you're someone who is in my face-to-face, then email me or ask me in class. Thanks.